Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel on data analysis and research. Today we are going to look at the McNemar test. What is McNemar test? Before we proceed, please subscribe to my channel, also share with your colleagues, and then recommend to other friends who are interested in data research, data analysis and research. So the McNemar test is a non-parametric test that is used to compare two related categorical data. So when you say related samples, example is a before and after study. So before an intervention, you collect the data, and then after the intervention, you also collect data. So because the data is collected from the same population, it's normally referred to as paired samples. They are not independent. So this data you've seen here is a group of a cohort of people who were surveyed at baseline, and then you have some who are smokers who indicate as yes smoking and then no non-smokers. So after the intervention, either through education or therapy, then another survey was done to check the smoking status. So some were still smoking, some quit smoking, and some who were not smoking also started to smoke. So that is the pre-test and then the post-test. So statistically, how do you know whether the distribution of the data uh, between the pre-test and post-test are different? So visually, you cannot determine that. So that is why you have to use statistical tools to check whether the intervention was effective or it wasn't. So for related categorical data, the non-parametric test, we have two ways of performing this in SPSS. We can use a crosstab to determine this. You can also use a non-parametric test to do that. So let's look at the two approaches. So in SPSS, you go to analyze, you go to descriptives. So you see crosstab, you select crosstab. Okay, so let's reset here. So there are two fields that you can put your data set. So pre-test, you can put it in the row column. Post-test, put it here. So row and then column. So for exact, we leave it as it is. So statistics, you see where this our test. This is what we are looking at, the McNemar test. So you select McNemar. If there are other things you want to do, you can proceed, but we are only interested in McNemar test. So cells, we want to look at the percentages in the row and column. So depending on which one you want to display, you select row or column. Okay, so format and style are by default. So let's see what the results are. So this is the case processing summary. So the number of data points, our sample size is 160. There are no missing values, so giving us 100%. So this is the distribution of our data by frequency and percentage. So the crosstab is between post-test and pre-test. So you can see pre-test within the post-test, no, and then yes. You can see the frequencies, and these are the percentages. And then for within post-test, you can see the frequencies and percentages. So that one is, you can see that for yes and no. So if you want which one you want to go by, you will use that. Now let's come to our McNemar. So it's a form of chi-square test, but you can see McNemar here. So these are McNemar. So you can see our p-value is less than 0.01. So meaning that the distribution of the data between pre and post test is statistically significant. So looking at the percentages, either more people quit smoking after the intervention, or more people started smoking after the intervention. So that one can be reduced. You can do further tests like logistics to determine that. So this is the McNemar. You can see your p-value. So this is the first way method you can use in SPSS. So we can proceed to look at the second method. So the second method, you go to non-parametric test. So you go to legacy dialogs. So you can see, so one sample, two independent, more than two independent, we have two related and more than two related. The k is the number. One is more than two, they use k. So 2, 3 and above. So you can see we are interested in the two related. So this way we'll find the McNemar. So we select it. Okay, so reset here. So by default, when you open the legacy dialog, you see it will check off Wilcoxon. Wilcoxon is for quantitative data, quantitative non-parametric data. So we are not interested in Wilcoxon. We want McNemar. So we'll uncheck Wilcoxon and select McNemar. So our pre-test will go to variable 1. Our post-test will go to variable 2. So if there are any options, so if you want descriptives, so we can select descriptives, then continue. So as that, we leave it as it is. So let's select OK. So with this one too, you can see the summary. So these are the frequencies: 19, 48, and then for yes, 20, and 73. The same as we saw in the previous table. For the descriptives, it does not make much sense because it has actually treated the data as quantitative, so giving mean and standard deviation, so which is doesn't make a lot of meaning. So rather it should be frequencies and proportions. So let's come to, this is where the important aspect is. So you can see chi-square value, then you can see, so test statistics A here, so that's McNemar. Okay, so the B here is the chi-square value for it. This is our sample size 160. You can see our p-value 0.01. So the previous one was less than 0.01. This one is 0.01. But all the same, they are statistically significant. So basically, this is how you perform the McNemar test. It's for comparing categorical data that are paired samples that are categorical in nature. We use the McNemar test. So where there are more than two, there are other tests, another test you can do called the Cochrane Q. So in the next tutorial, I will take you through how the Cochrane Q is also done. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, recommend it to your colleagues, and also share to your social media handles. See you next time, and bye for now.